Hi guys, welcome to Code Decode. So in the previous videos, we have covered the local variables and instance variables. The link for the same can be found in the description bar below. So today we will be covering the another type of variable, that is a class variables in Java. So what are the class variables? Class variables are actually those variables which are static. That is, the memory allocated for these variables are when the class is being loaded in the memory. So I'll show you how do we create these variables. So I'll use static keyword in front of a particular variable. So whenever you create a variable with a static keyword, it becomes a class variable. So you have seen that these are instance variable, these are local variables, and the third type is the static variable or the class variable. So the very unique thing about this variable is that how many type of objects do you create for this dog. Say I've created two types of objects, the Tommy and dog one. So all the like I've already told you that these objects will have their own copy of their color. So the Tommy was black but the dog one was white, but all the objects of this class will have a same variable value for this var object, and if one of the object changes the value of this object, all the other instances or the objects of this class will see the change. So this is nothing but a class variable which is shared amongst multiple variable objects of this particular class. See, for example, all these dogs must belong. I want to make this class that all the objects of this dog class should belong to one particular class. Say for example, all of my are present in one hospital, so I want to modify this particular class to make all the objects to belong to only one particular hospital. So I say hospital name and I declare it as, say suppose XYZ is my hospital name. Okay, so all of these objects will have this particular hospital name common to them. So if you want to see, I can show that to you. Say if I say, okay, one more important thing, these static variables can be used with the class name. You don't need an object you don't need to create an object for the same. So that is why you don't need an object for accessing this hospital name. So if you want to use color directly, can you use color directory? If I say color, no, I cannot use it. So if I say Tommy.color, then only you can use it. But can I do dog.color? I just want to print my dog's color. So I cannot do that because my dog can be of multiple types. Say it is Tommy, it is dog one. That is why only and only an instance variable can be accessed with an object name and not from the class name, because all the different objects of the same class can have different instance variable values which are not at all shareable. These instance variables are very private to all of these objects, different objects of the same class, but the class variable or the static variables are something which is shareable, and hence I can do something like my dog dot color gives me error because what it says, you cannot make a static reference to a non-static, or you have to remove uh, see once again, you cannot make a static reference to a non-static field color. So this is non-static field, so you have to you have to use the object name and not the class name. But when I do control space, it says hospital name, so it does not give me any compile time errors. So this hospital name is the static one, which is not dependable on any of the object and can be directly used with the dog class name itself. So if I try to run this, run as Java application, you can see the dog name as hospital name as XYZ. Great. So good so far. This is how you create a class variable or the static variable in Java. And you can see that multiple. Now if I do the same with my object, say I have used a dog, right? But if I use Tommy, So what I'm doing here is I'm trying to print the hospital name for my particular object, which is Tommy, which is of black color. So what do I get here? So as this variable is being shared with all the objects, this XYZ is same for Tommy. So Tommy has XYZ name. Now if I try to do that with dog 1, now this dog 1, and I'll try to print color also, okay, for you. I'll print the color for my dog 1. So this color is instance variable. So these two objects, different objects of same class, will have different color. One will be black, one will be white. So you will be seeing black and XYZ and white and XYZ. Why XYZ same? Because these hospital names are shareable with all the objects of the same class. So dog has a particular variable hospital name which is common to all the objects, being it Tommy, being it dog 1. So let me run it for you and I'll show you the result. So it says white. So just a minute, I'll make it big for you. So it says black in XYZ, white in XYZ. So can you see this Tommy's color is black, this dog 1's color is white. But Tommy's hospital name is XYZ, but the dog 1's hospital name is also XYZ. Now what if I do Tommy dot hospital name equals to ABC? Can I do that? Save. Now if I run it, so can you see something? I printed the color came black. I printed the hospital name, it was XYZ. But now I have changed this hospital name to ABC. So who has changed the hospital name? Tommy has changed his hospital name to ABC. But when the Tommy changed his hospital to name as ABC, then why dog 1's hospital name is also changed to ABC? This is because whenever you change a static variable, all the other objects will get that change reflected in them because that is a shareable memory. This hospital name is actually a shareable variable for all the dog objects. So if you again try printing the hospital name after changing it, I'll run this as a Java application. I can see that this XY black color dog, that is Tommy, has XYZ initially, but then it changed it here in line number 12 and I try printing it again. It says the hospital for Tommy is changed to ABC. But then my dog 1 also is now shifted to ABC hospital. Why? Because this hospital name is a shareable thing for all the dog class objects. It does not depend on object, but it depends upon the class. So my dog's color remains different, black and white, but the hospital names will always remain same because hospital name is a static variable. So now you can see a difference between the instance variable and which is color and the static variable which is hospital name. Another important thing that the default values of these remains the same. That is, if I don't initialize it with anything, it will be null, and all the default values for all the data types I will cover in the next videos. But as of now, you need to understand that these also have the default values. Another thing that you can access these static variables with either the class name or the object name. So very important thing, you don't need and to create an object if you have the class with you. So class dot the static variable will works great. Very important thing to be covered here is that these static variables cannot be local. So I've shown you how to create a local variable. This is how you create a local variable. So if I do a static hospital name, it says illegal modifier. You can happily do this with, just a second, string hospital name and provide it XYZ. It will be a local variable. But making a local variable static is not allowed in Java, as the static variables are always class variables and not a method or a block variable. So this is not allowed. Remember this is very important from interview perspective, that a static variable can never be a local variable. Similarly, these the life of these method these I've told you that the life of this instance variable remain as long as the object of this class remains. So as soon as my Tommy dies, the this black color dies. As soon as my dog one is garbage collector, my white color, this variable white, this color variable color with a value white will be destroyed as soon as my dog one object is garbage collected. But this hospital name variable will not be garbage collected if dog one or Tommy is garbage collected. Why? Because this hospital name is a class variable and it is valid until and all the program is still in execution. It does not depend on garbage collection of any of the variable or the object in Java. That is why if you are going to make any of the variables static, then just make sure that you are very sure that you want to make it as a class variable, because the memory will last as long as your program lasts in the memory. Though your thousands of objects will come and go, but this variable will remain in the memory unless your program is in execution. So make this variable static very carefully. So that's all about the static variables. If you have any doubt, please ping me down in the comment section, as I know that this is a bit tricky or difficult thing to understand. Just let me know in the comment section if you have any doubts.